Hello Eco Warriors and Climate Champions. My name's Carrie Court from Sussex Green Living and I'm here today with my friend Pedro. Now, do you know what Pedro is? He's a red-eyed tree climbing frog and he comes all the way from South America, from the Amazon rainforest. Why is the Amazon such a special place? Look at how beautiful it is. Not only is the Amazon the single largest remaining tropical rainforest in the world, it houses at least 10% of the world's known biodiversity, including endangered flora and fauna, plants and animals that can only be found in the Amazon. Explorers and scientists are making new discoveries all the time, often plants that are cures to diseases and new medicines. The Amazon River accounts for 15% of the world's total river that goes into our oceans. The Amazon rainforest is called the lungs of the earth because it has so many trees, big ancient trees and lots of plants. These trees and plants take out of the air the carbon dioxide, one of the greenhouse gases we humans are creating too much of through all our human activity, lots of buying of goods and shipping all over the world. And these trees, the Amazon rainforest, gives us the oxygen that we need to breathe. So we need to demand and buy less, look after our planet more. So that's why the Amazon rainforest is so important. Now let me tell you about Pedro. Now Pedro, he actually came all the way from South America to the UK in a bunch of bananas. You need to look on Sussex Green Living and he'll tell you his story. But he lives in my garden in West Sussex. And he came to West Sussex because he heard that West Sussex was going to be the greenest, the cleanest and the best place on the planet to live. Do you know why? Because there are so many climate champions, eco warriors like you living in West Sussex. So today, Pedro and I are going to talk to you about recycling and recreating. Pedro's going to introduce you to one of his enemy and a couple of his friends. And this enemy and these friends are actually going to show you what you can and can't recycle in your recycling bin at home. And then we're going to show you all sorts of wonderful things that have been made with what many people think are rubbish and waste and litter and but we have made and other people have made into beautiful things, works of art, handbags, jewellery, all sorts of incredible things. So just wait and see. So now, eco warriors, recycling warriors, I want to look at what these materials are made of, think about where they came from, and why it's really important to most certainly recycle them, but actually, in an ideal world, don't even take them in the beginning. So let's have a look in our box. So, do you know what these are made of? They're made of aluminium. It's come from planet Earth. Like everything around us, everything has come out of our great planet. This is a very valuable waste resource. Last time I asked, it's worth about £780 a tonne. So it can be recycled. It can be recycled many times. In fact, it can be recycled to make aircraft. So really important that if you actually take an aluminium can and have a drink in an aluminium can, that you actually put it in your recycling bin so it can get made into something new. Let's see, what else have I got in my box here? Have a good old rummage around. Oh, here we are. Now,
This is made out of metal as well. Lots of people put them in their bin, their bathroom bin. Lots of people don't actually recycle what's in their bathroom bin, which is really bad. And the bedroom bins, whatever bins you have in the house, it's really important that you take them out to your curbside recycling bin outside your house and you put them in the right bin. So again, this is made of metal and it's very, very valuable. And although it's got a little bit of plastic on the top, it should all go in your recycling bin. Let me see, what else do I have here? What about these? Do you think we can recycle these or not? Yes, they're made of plastic. And what's plastic made of? Plastic's made of petroleum, which has taken millions of years, if not billions of years, to form in planet Earth. We suck it up, we use it to make plastic containers and bottles, to power our house, to power our cars, unless you have an electric car, or perhaps solar, some good clean energy. But petroleum's used for lots of things. It's really, really important that you recycle plastic bottles, plastic containers, any plastic containers in fact. Here we go. This you can recycle, it's also made of plastic. This you can recycle. It might be black, but it doesn't matter. It had some meals for an elderly person actually. So we've washed it, so it's nice and clean. That can be recycled. Other forms of plastic milk cartons, yogurt pots, any hard plastic that's bigger than a coffee lid, bigger than about so big, can be put in your recycling bin and really must. I mean, if you can avoid taking it in the beginning, then that's even better. So, for example, I can't find it in my magic bin. Here we go. For example, we used to actually get our milk from Sainsbury's or Tesco's, one of the big stores, in a plastic carton like this. But we decided to go back to the milkman. And by going back to the milkman, we actually prevent 80 plastic milk cartons like this a year having to be taken and recycled by our council. They get recycled miles and miles away. Used to be in China, long, about 10,000 miles away, transported using horrible fossil fuel to be recycled into something new, but actually really bad for the planet, all that shipping around. So we use milk bottles and we buy them from the milkman. So these go back to the milkman, these glass bottles. They get re-sterilised, refilled and returned to householders. So that's a really good way to prevent the need for all this recycling. Back on track. What else have I got in here? Oh, these are called Tetra Paks. So these actually are made of paper, plastic and a type of foil. So it's quite a complicated material, but they can be recycled. So pop those in your recycling bin. What about this magazine? Make sure you read it first. Make sure you ideally give it to a friend, and maybe a friend reads it. A few friends, even better. And then eventually, when it's a bit tatty, if you don't need it any longer, pop it in your recycling bin. Because what's paper made of? And what's cardboard made of? Where does it come from? It comes from trees. And however old or young you are, I know if I ask any of you, do we want trees standing or do we want them cut down? You'd say, yeah, we want them standing because they give us clean air and they take nasty gases out of the atmosphere. So try not to take these materials in the beginning if you can avoid it. But most certainly recycle them and then they'll get made into new cardboard and new paper. Sorry about my dogs, they like to join in. What else have I got? Oh, now I'm going to, here's another. Oh, this one's been decorated, so excuse my, it's a steel tin. This steel tin, this definitely needs to be recycled. So this might be something you've got, I don't know, baked beans in, or maybe some soup, maybe some fruit. Again, this is worth a lot of money. Last time I asked, about £780 a tonne. So definitely we want to recycle our steel tins. It's really important with all your recycling that it's clean, dry and loose. That means clean, it hasn't got jam and food all over it. You can just swill it out in your washing up water. Dry, you don't need to dry it with a tea towel, but you want to make sure that you haven't got a bottle full of water that goes in your recycling bin and gets all your paper all wet. And loose means don't put it in a bin liner, your recycling, because you can't recycle bin liners. So foil needs to be clean, dry and loose to make sure you've got your, if it's a jam tart tin or a pie tin, yeah, give it a quick swill out and then you can put it in your recycling bin. I was talking about milk bottles earlier. Well, on milk bottles you get little foil lids like this. They're really brilliant for eco art, but if you're not actually in the making mode, if you actually collect these and then screw them up into a tight ball so they all stick together and then pop them in your recycling bin, that helps to keep all those lovely foil lids together. And then actually some food pouches like this have got aluminium, which is what foil is made of, and they have got aluminium in them. And the test really is, if you get a bag, say like this, if you screw it up into a tight ball and it stays screwed up like that, it's got aluminium in it, so you can recycle it. If you screw it up and then it immediately pings open again, it's plastic, so don't recycle it. Then the last few things I wanted to show you are bottles like these. So these are called trigger heads. The bottle you can recycle, but the top you cannot. But you can put it in a really, really special recycling scheme, which I'm going to tell you about at the end. So again, bottles like this you can recycle, but not the lid in your bin, not in your recycling bin at home. They're made, all these plastic lids are made of hundreds and hundreds of types of plastic, and it's just too complicated. They get stuck in the recycling machinery, so don't put them in. And then the one thing I wanted to come back to is aerosol cans. So made of steel, it's got a plastic lid on it. When it's empty, definitely empty. Ideally, if you can take the plastic lid off, then put that in your recycling bin. If you can't get the top off, which sometimes it's really, really difficult, then still put it in your recycling bin, because there's more of the steel that needs to be recycled than the plastic that they don't really want. But the recycling companies can sort that out. So have a look at Ronnie the Recycled Robot. That will help to remind you what you can recycle in your bins at home. I need a new Ronnie, a robot actually, if you fancy making me one. Now we're going to look at what you can't recycle in your recycling bin at home. So it's materials like these really. These are all made of different types of plastic. So plastic bags, carrier bags, bin liners, coffee packaging like these are all made of plastic. So again, you do the scrunch test and it will open back up again. It's most definitely plastic. So in an ideal world, try and avoid plastics like these. Sometimes you get fruit and veg in plastic bags like this, but actually choose it loose. Go to your local farm shop, go to a pick your own, grow your own, even better, no food miles. So just try and avoid as much of the food that's in packaging as possible. What else? Oh, so we got, who likes chicken nuggets? I know you all love chicken nuggets. So this was a bag. There's only a little square of the bag now, but you can't recycle this. This has to go in your rubbish bin. So, hey, ideally, perhaps try going to the butcher, buying the chicken without the packaging, and then making your own chicken nuggets. Now there's an idea. Or I bet you like these crisps. Everyone likes crisp packets. So you cannot recycle these in your bin at home. But again, at the end, I'm going to tell you what you can do to help the planet by recycling these in a special place. But don't put them in your bin at home. Or have you got dogs? Cats? Treats? These are made of plastic, so again, you can't recycle them in your bin at home, but I do have a solution, so I'll tell you about that. Oh, here. Do you know what this is made of? So it's polystyrene. It's a really bad material. So I don't know anywhere you can recycle polystyrene. So think about it, sometimes you can buy pizzas. Sometimes they're on cardboard bases to stop them going all floppy and to protect them. Sometimes they're on polystyrene bases. Now avoid the ones on polystyrene bases. If you buy them on the cardboard basis, then if the cardboard's clean, you can put it in your recycling bin. If it's covered in pizza, then you can't. But best of all, make your pizza bases. It's great fun. It's really, really easy, and it's really, really fun choosing all the food to go on it. So then you're not actually buying any packaging, and you're not actually having to send packaging off in your rubbish bin or in your recycling bin. What else can I show you? Oh yeah, polystyrene. Please, please, please never go to a shop and buy yourself a drink in a polystyrene cup. Take your beaker for life, your drinker for life. I think I've got one in here somewhere. You know what they look like. Here we go, here's mine. Oh, this one, it expands out. Yep. And you can, oh, it's even taller than that. There we go. So that folds down and will go in your bag. You can take it out and about, drink, top it up while you're out and about. So big for life. Please, please, please do not take polystyrene cups.
If you have damaged goods and materials that can't go in your recycling bin at home, you might want to take them to your nearest household waste recycling site, which you can locate on this website. This map shows where they are in West Sussex. Most of the materials get recycled into new things. However, before taking anything here, try and find someone else who might want the item you don't need any longer. Talk to friends, neighbours and relatives, or share the information on Facebook or sites like Freegal, Freecycle or Trash Nothing. Or of course you could take it to a charity shop. You might find that you can swap it for something with someone else. Since the COVID pandemic, we've seen a lot of this. It's called the mutual aid movement. With a little effort, there's lots of other ways you can recycle materials which would otherwise go in your rubbish bin and to landfill or incinerator and get burnt. Look at this website, TerraCycle. You can put into the website your postcode and see what else you can recycle. Things like crisp packets, biscuit wrappers, cheese wrappers, dog and food packaging wrappers, and lots more. We recycle many of these materials at drop-off locations in villages and towns in Horsham district. So do go and look on TerraCycle's website. Before I show you some really stunning things that have been made out of what many people call rubbish, I'd like to tell you about how you can find out about your household wheelie bins and which ones you should put the recycling in and which ones are for the rubbish, the non-recyclable materials. You'll need to visit this website, www.recycleforwestsussex.org. if you live in West Sussex, and then click on the area, Mid Sussex, Horsham District, Chichester, for example, and you can learn about the colour of your recycling bin and what you can and can't put in the bin. Recycling varies from area to area, county to county, country to country. So if you don't live in West Sussex, find your local council's website and learn more. This video has been produced for Mid Sussex District Council's virtual playdays. If you live in Mid Sussex, this shows the colour of the bins for your area. We hope that you've learnt about the importance of looking after our great planet. Although recycling is really important, it's much better to refuse the packaging. Don't buy goods with lots of packaging. Try and buy goods with none. Or if you have to buy packaging, make sure it's recyclable. You might have learnt about the 3 R's at school: reduce, reuse and recycle. You can see here that lots and lots of other wonderful greener living R words. Try and learn about them and remember all these wonderful R words. A final request from Pedro and I: it's really important that one person in a household takes overall responsibility for monitoring the bins. So please go away and be the bin police person in your home.